day, everyone. Stage 11 is pretty much the same as yesterday's. Flat. The day starts at an altitude of 30 meters in Carpi and finishes at 222 meters in Novi Ligure. That works out at an average of 0.1% over the 206-kilometer route. Once again, victory will go to a sprinter. Costante Girardengo and Fausto Coppi would perhaps have preferred to see one of the GC favourites come to the fore in the city of the Campionissimi.
What's up guys, Chance here and welcome back to the PCM League. This is stage number 11 of the Super Giro d'Italia. Now, we got Stockbro, RVT, Ward Smith, and Angelo in the breakaway. 3 of the 4 needing some points. As we take a look, there's 2 sprinters.
Whoa, there's an attack from inside the breakaway group!
There's basically 2 sprints as usual. Again, another flat stage. But you're gonna like it. I like these flat stages. But
there's more than a minute on the clock. The brake seems to be working. A couple of teams have set themselves up as pacemakers for the pack. They obviously don't have anybody in the breakaway group.
We basically got a 3-man breakaway now. Which means that 3 riders are going to try and get those points. To try, not only try to catch up, but even to try and get them on the board. To try and get them on the board in the PC class. But let's take a look at the map and see where we're going. So, it's going to be a long route here. And then we go to Stradella for the first sprint. Then we have Pontecaron for the second sprint. And then it leads to the finish of Novi Ligure for stage 11 in a 204.5 kilometer race.
The gap is widening. It's now over 2 minutes. Look, the pack has taken its foot off the gas. The team leaders can't be too worried about the breakaway.
And I mean, the strategy for this race could be hands down. Could be easier. But I believe the strategy for this race should be that whoever, it could be easy to go for a breakaway early. That way you can try to gain some momentum, as right now they're nearly 3 minutes ahead of the peloton is the breakaway. But I believe the breakaway would be a good start. They're all, at the beginning, who would have thought it? They would end up being whoever makes the breakaway work at the beginning would lead the increased chance of getting those points.
It's a puncture!
And Jules with a puncture. He's been staying back. He has to stay back because of a puncture. But he's gonna try and get back to the peloton, which I believe he's able to. He is able to come back to the peloton to chill out. But we take a look at the slowdown from the breakaway. The breakaway is massive at this point.
The pace is quite slow on this section. The riders are obviously keeping something back. We should be in for quite a finish.
But the breakaway here is going to be a tough task at hand. Let's take a look at the peloton over here. As they're just chilling right around.
Flat tire! It always happens at the wrong moment.
Oh, but the leader of the PC had a flat tire He has a flat. He had a puncture. That's not going to ruin his race. But we are going to take a quick short break. We'll see where we go from here. Here we are back live for stage number 11 in the Supergiro d'Italia. Angelo, Smith, and Erviti. They're still over 3 minutes ahead of the peloton. And it looks like they're not really seeing anytime soon, as we're less than 50 kilometers away from the first sprint of the race. Now, we see Angelo. Angelo is going to try and work here. Take a look at the car cam from behind. This is the peloton here for everybody. They're just, I believe they're trying to pick up pace or not. Most likely they're not going to pick up pace as they're just showing save energy until the end of the race. But would be wrong. That happens. But let's take a look back at the breakaway, see what happens. Erviti. Remember, Erviti, Schmidt.
That's half the race done. There should be a lot more movement from now on in.
Angelo are actually trying to get points here. They need to be on the board for the PC classification. So they're gonna try and see if they can make it work. But Erviti with 115th place. Schmidt with 93rd place. Angelo with 117th place. They need to get their time chunked. They need to get their time chunked here. Chunk here, trying to tease. But let's take a look back at Thomas here, our leader of the GC class.
The pack is increasing its work rate. Some teams can't be happy with the breakaway.
So far for Thomas, he is just hanging around in the peloton. And I believe same thing goes for the number 1 ranked in the PC class, Breakaway. After he popped the tire, after he had a puncture, he made his way back to near the front of the peloton. But we got several riders leading some points on the board at the end, who is near the front. But right now, let's take a look at Michael Woods, the Canadian that's in this race. He's 14th in PC class, but 37th in the GC.
Some team managers mustn't appreciate the fact that there is a breakaway, given that the pack has increased its speed.
So that's what's going to happen. It's a rainy day here on the road. As we're 15 kilometers left until we see the first sprint. But breakaway. Let's take a look at the breakaway now. They're just riding. But, however, the peloton is gaining ground. They're going to try and get to the breakaway. So that way they can hold the mass sprint for the 3 sprinting, including the finish.
They really are moving. The pack can't get strung out too far, or it's going to start breaking up.
The rainy weather. The rainy weather is going to take a toll. It's not like I think it's going to be slower. I think it's mostly going to be slower. You have to go through this rainy weather.
We're starting the last third of the race.
As the breakaway is nearing the 5 kilometers remaining of the sprint, the first sprint. For Stradella. Who's gonna win this sprint here? This is gonna be massive. And it's gonna be points implication. Let's take a look at this sprint. And let's take a look. Angelo with 8 points and 3 seconds off. Schmidt with 6 points and 2 seconds off. Erviti with 4 points and 1 second off. And after the puncture, earlier on the race, Drill Wagon with 3 points, Ewan with 4 with 2 points.
The lead over the pack is dwindling.
But let's see who's gonna win this one here. Because as I said, this will be coming down to the sprints. This will most likely come down to the sprints. We're almost 20 kilometers left in the second sprint. 50 kilometers left in the race. Let's see what happens as these three. Now that these three got some points on the board for the PC class, we'll have to wait and see about the time chunk. They need to really regain ground in this Giro d'Italia. They have to wait and see. Have to wait and see here. 15 kilometers left in second sprint. They're going to head over to Ponte.
The breakaway is not to everybody's liking. The peloton has significantly increased its speed.
This sprint, but the peloton is gaining ground. Take a look at the peloton. We see Joe Wagon. I don't know how he's doing this after the puncture. After that puncture in the early of the race, he regained ground. And he is just going to try and hold him off. He is 122nd place in the GC class. But in the PC, he is in the lead of the points. We'll have to wait and see. But the leader of the GC class, Thomas. He's going to try and get some points back.
The entente in the escape group is far from cordial. There are a couple of riders who want to go it alone. There's a sustained rhythm at the moment. Some riders definitely won't be able to keep up.
So we'll have to see. Take a look at him. Everybody is just in there for this sprint. 3 kilometers left for our sprint to begin. I have to wait and see. Take a look here. Coverna is about to go away at the sprint, but take a look at the sprints. Take a look at the sprint. It is going to be Irvanti winning the sprint. Schmidt held in second place. Oh my god. Irvanti with 8 points and 3 seconds off. Schmidt with 6 points and 2 seconds off. E1 4 points with 1 second off. This time Bennett with 3 points and Joe Wagon with 2. Let's take a look at the Palito. As we can see, we'll have to see where it's going to be at. Now we're getting close to the finish line. But I want to take a look at Higuita over here. I want to take a look at Higuita. Higuita is 4th in the GC class, but 1st in the Young Riders, 15th in the PC class. He is going to try and gain some momentum going into later stages of the tour. But we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen.
The pack's deficit is being cut back. Some team managers mustn't appreciate the fact that there is a breakaway, given that the pack has increased its speed.
The speed goes here. We'll see how that goes. We see Thomas here. He's trying to take the lead out. But looks like the breakaway is about to be over. The breakaway is about to be over, and
15 kilometers to the finish line.
we see, take a look at Martin, who is right now leading the train, the peloton train. They're trying to get... But look at Seneschal. Seneschal is in 130th place.
The pack has just reeled in the escape group.
And it's no more 10
There's a mass crash in the pack, but it doesn't look too serious. The peloton has definitely accelerated, meaning that an attack is highly unlikely. 10 kilometers to the finish line.
I don't think they're going to come back with this one. Now let's take a look at Thomas, the GC leader. He's going to try.
While the pack is getting close to the finish line, everybody seems to agree that the stage will be won in a sprint.
7.5 kilometers left to go. Of the race. We'll see how this ends up. As we're approaching 5 kilometers left of the race.
The finish line is getting close. The riders just passed.
Here we go. Take a look at Swifty. I believe there's like a separate client here. Tim Seneschal here. But let's take a look at Thomas over here. We're coming close to the sprinting finish. As we see,
there we go. The sprint is on. The riders are setting themselves up.
Here we go. We'll see who's gonna win this one here. And it is gonna be tight.
Victory for Arnaud Demar.
Demar, first place. E1, Corbelli, Dreaded Wagon, Consoni, top 5 finish. Look at those guys. But what was shocking to me, was that Wagon.
The race is run, but the poor souls bringing up the rear continue to cross the line. It's a bit of a knock for the morale.
Wagon was the one who actually got a puncture early in the race, but he moved up. He moved up to finish 4th place, which was impressive.
And here are the race highlights that we've selected for you.
But we'll have to see what that changed. Thomas still in the lead of GC class. Wagon is just increasing his GPC lead. E1, however, leapfrogs Thomas in the PC class here. Hugita maintains his young riders. But yeah, we'll see you in stage number 12.